Welcome to another episode of Hereford FC here on Vanilla FM, and we are playing for the first time Skybet League 2. I'm going to take you through the transfers, and a quick look at the staff, because I think I promised that in a previous episode and I never did. So we'll look at that, and also just a side note as well, I've already played a couple of games for the championship, and we had somehow, I don't understand how really, we had a flying start to the season with a 4-0 win against Wimbledon. We've also had a 3-1 against a 3-1 win against Swindon, and for the Carabao Cup, 4-0 win against Bromley. Now, I don't think my squad is that good, so not quite sure how they've managed to accomplish that. So I'll take you through the squad, what it's looking like now. But before we do, just a quick run through the staff, because I think it's quite interesting to look at the staff, only because I know a couple of the members of staff from Hereford actually watch the channel. So let's see who we have in the books at the moment. So I'm going to go by that and then that. Not sure why it's doing it like that actually, but anyway. Okay, so senior squad, we got our assistant manager Lloyd James. A lot of these will be new, so I don't think anyone from Hereford is actually left anymore. Lloyd James as assistant manager. Our chairperson is Chris Ammons. I think they are still the same. And chief doctor, I think that's just game generated doctor. Chief scout again is a Nugent. Then we have a few human coaches. So we've got Dan Murray as one of our coaches. I think they do defense coaching, I believe. Oh no, it's gone back. It's gone back to that view. Dan Morris, Lawrence Griffiths, Jordan Winter, Danny Thomas. So those are the first team coaches. We still have a whole raft of directors, some of them generated by the club. We have a director of football. In fact, I think I might cancel the contract. We don't really need him. Tommy Brookbanks, but I need to check who else is going to take over. I think his tactical responsibilities, I think he's taking over that right now, but that might change in the future. Then we have a fitness coach, a goalkeeping coach, Dean Lightwood. Abdulli Ann is the fitness coach. Our youth development is James Dunn. Head physio Richard Bachan. We have Alan Miller as our physio, a couple of real-life scouts as well, Joshua Fields and Dan Bent. And then we've recently also started to fill out our under-21s team, but for the moment we only have real humans for the under-18s. So Rian Cano and Steve Lewis for our under-18s. So as you can see, we've recently made an under-21 squad. There was a bit of a bug around that. You have to exit the game and then re-enter the game for the actual team to pop up on the menus. So the youth is still very buggy. But there we are. That's a quick run through who we still have in FM. I don't think any original Hereford staff is left, really. So apologies to all of you. You've all been replaced, I think. Right, so now let's take a look at the squad. So we have a few new faces, a few old faces, one original face as well. Right, so goalkeeping wise, we have the same two. We have Belgambi and David Harrington. David Harrington joined us at the last end, at the kind of the top end of the season last season. From Fleetwood. Belgambi's been with us for a while. On the right side, I'm hoping to sell Sean Hogan and replace him with Evan O'Connor, who hasn't arrived yet. So Sean Hogan we're going to sell or loan. But we do manage to secure on the permanent deal Cole for the right side of defence. Left side, we still have the same two, so Charlie, who's been with us a few seasons now, and also Sloan, who's been probably with us the longest now in consecutive seasons. Lots of appearances for us. He's also one of our main leaders in the club as well. I have an O'Connor, who I didn't show you, so he's going to come in for the right side. He's joining us in January, so he's going to come over from Ireland, and he will replace Sean Hogan. Going back to the first team. In the centre of defence, a few new faces, and actually there was one transfer that wasn't really necessary. So initially I got Grant Horton, thinking that he would be our only centre defender, and we sold Godfred. I'll show you the exiting transfers in a minute. But then I had the chance to find these two guys on loan, and if I had found them earlier, I wouldn't have needed to get Grant Horton. So Grant Horton was a little bit of a waste of money, I guess, in that sense. He's a very good player, don't get me wrong, for this level. 25 years old. But these two 19-year-olds, they've come from Blackburn, and they're probably going to be our main defenders. So we've got Michael Lecandia and Leon Kelly Quinn. So they are going to be our main central defenders, I think, from here on out. We still have in our books as well Annie Massown. He's currently injured, so he's going to be our sort of backup bench player. He used to be one of our main players, obviously, but now we've gone up a league, so not quite there in terms of quality for this league. In the defensive midfield, not many changes. We still have Caden, who can do a few positions for us, actually. From last year, we've brought back Matt Richards. He's developing very well, steadily with the rest of the team as the team goes up through the leagues. So he's still an original Hereford player, although he did leave for a little bit to Hornchurch, but he came back. We also have in the defensive midfield Regan Riley, and I think new for this season we have this guy on loan, Jeremiah Sinclair Brown. He's come from Scunthorpe, Norwich before, and he's a decent player, 18-year-old, young, very good. Then at the end of the season, so he's new for this season. He wasn't here last season. We just completed this deal over the summer, but I put in the bid at the end of last season. We have Alex Henderson, who's come from, what league are they in? Enterprise North, so they've come from lower down. And then the other player is still Matt Keane, so this position is proving to be quite difficult to get a decent player on here for our league, but it's fine. And then the right side, we have our two from last season, so Torrin and also Connor Drinard. Strikers, not much news. The only new player is Louis. He's an 18-year-old player coming from Manchester, so I think he was released on a free transfer. So he's probably like the best prospect, maybe, that we have in the squad, or one of the best anyway. We still have Zimba that we secured at the end of last season, and then from a few seasons ago now, Victor Udezi, who was Victor Udezi, he was the top goal scorer last season and also the top player, so he won player of the year last season as well. So he did quite well for us last season, and he's got himself some pretty nice achievements. If I go to career, that year he did really, really well for us with 25 goals for the league alone. So yeah, very good player. Obviously, now we're up the league, so he might not show to be the same quality here in this league. Finally, Daniel, who joined us just at the end of last season, really, in the summer. So he's brand new as well. So that's the squad. Just to show you some of the exiting transfers as well, and where they've gone to. Actually, if I go to history, have they fixed... transfer history. No, they haven't fixed this bug yet where it shows you where the previous years. Okay, so that bug is still there. So we sold for quite a lot of money, so £250,000. We sold O'Shea Ellis to Sheffield Wednesday, so he's going to go up a league to Sheffield Wednesday. If you look at O'Shea Ellis, he's great. He's got a good spread of mental attributes, technical attributes, physical attributes. He was a little bit lacking in the strength and physical, so jumping reach, heading, and so on. So that's why we gave him away, because we rely a lot on physical attributes for the kind of game that we play. He's a good player though, so I was happy to capitalize on him. Godfred, we also sold him for just about 50k to Tranmere. I don't know how to pronounce that actually. So he's going to be playing in the same league, so we might encounter him. We might unlock that achievement of playing against your own player. And then Flint is out on loan for the second season running. He was in Scunthorpe last season. Played 11 games. He's already played 2 for Eastleigh, but he's 1 league up, so he's going to play in the National League rather than the North League. Seems to be doing okay. Hasn't really progressed, so again, for the same reason that we didn't keep Godfred, we're also not keeping Will Flint and also O'Shea. They're good players though in their own right. So that was it. So that means that in total we spent only about 40k. Well, that's not quite true, because I did a few transfers in June and that didn't get counted for this transfer budget. So that's not quite true, but I did make up 300k. One other way to look at this, actually, released players. We have anyone? Oh yeah, I also released a few players. So, and one other way to look at the transfer spent is if you go to finances, income, and this season, players sold versus last season, players sold. It was only 11k or 12k rather. If you go to expenditure, players bought, it should be here somewhere. Or transfers, 118k versus last season transfers 180k. So basically I balanced it out between the 2 seasons by using that early June window. That doesn't really get counted to this year. So that's all about the transfers. We're doing okay. We have a new under 18s intake, so that's going pretty well. They're doing pretty well. It's quite difficult to find the fixtures, so I'm not going to show you that. But actually, can I do it from here? Yes, I can do it from here. Not these ones. These are cup competitions. I want the league. League might be through here. Yeah. So they've lost 1 and they've won 1 so far for the league. Okay, that's not how it works. It's so cumbersome. And so far, no fixtures for the under 21s. So, but I'm hoping to sell all of these. I've already put them all out, and they can play for the under 18s as well because they're still within the age to do so. So that's enough for the squad. Quick recap on finances. We're doing very healthily, so that's fine. Facilities. We had an expansion booked, but the council rejected the planning permission, so we're not going ahead with the stadium expansion. These are the current facilities for everything else. I've also been given an upgraded contract, so I will try to put a picture on the screen. I might not be able to do it now. Let's see if it'll let me do it now. It might not let me do it now. No, it won't let me do it now. Okay, I'll put it in the edit. So that's that. So I now earn 1.5k. So I have a slightly better house in this fictional story. What else? I think that's it. If we just look at the supporters breakdown, that's what it is like now. Doesn't show season ticket holders, I don't think, does it? I can't see it. Anyway, but that's the breakdown anyway. So I still have an overwhelming majority of core, family and fair weather are those three, which are good. No corporate yet, and casual and hardcore. So I think the good ones are hardcore. Yeah, hardcore is good. Core is also good. Hardcore and core. How about casual? Okay, that's not bad. So pink is bad, and casual is bad. So it's these three. You still have an overwhelming support from relaxed supporters, let's say. As in, like, they will support us even if we do badly. That's what I mean. But we're not doing badly. We're doing great. So, let's jump into this match. I've already selected ahead of time the match squad. And I have saved, so even if the game crashes, which it did actually this week. I was in the middle of transfers, and I can't remember exactly what I was doing. I can't remember. It wasn't in the middle of a transfer itself. It was just I was doing something that I only do it in the summer, and I can't remember what it was now. But anyway, the game just crashed, so I had to. Luckily, it had sort of auto-saved pretty recently, so I was able to just do a couple of contract offers, and then I was back up to speed again. But yeah, the game still crashes. It's still not very stable. So I would always recommend key points, and before a match, always save if you can, because otherwise it's just a little bit annoying having to go back and do everything again. So here we are, playing in crew. Now, from the perspective of the game as a game, I'm still not happy with the game as a game. The only thing that's keeping me going is I'm quite passionate about this Hereford save. I want to, take it up the leagues and see what players I get in my squad and all of that, like building the club up and so on. So I'm quite passionate about that, even though the game as a game is bad and it's poorly built and it's not finished. Sure, the match engine looks better, yes. There are some features that I also quite like, but overwhelming majority, I would say, is bad. The UI, a lot of it I don't like. A lot of features are broken, a lot of screens unfinished, lots of bugs, crash issues, graphics issues. So the game is, if it wasn't for the fact that I was quite passionate about this Hereford save and just FM as a whole, I wouldn't be playing this game. This game is not good. It's not finished. But it's also very hard to keep up with reporting all the bugs because there are so many that you kind of just get fatigued of doing it. So I'm not doing it as diligently as I was before. And I'm not sure if SI really understand that the game is so buggy that eventually people just give up on reporting it because it's just so fatiguing having to do that all the time. So I hope they realize that and do more of the legwork of testing it in-house rather than having their customers test it for them. I think they sort of missed the point that we are customers at the end of the day. So you don't test your product on your customers. That's not really the way to do it. You test it before. Sure, your customers are always going to do a little bit of testing, inverted commas, and feedback, and they'll give you feedback and they'll report issues. But that's like, you should only be for like a very small instances, very small cases. It shouldn't be like overwhelmingly your customer base is testing for you. That's just wrong as a product. Anyway, going on a rant here. We're doing well. We scored 1, so I'm happy. Let's carry on. So who was that? That was Zimba. Apparently, and oh yeah, I remember now. He was off the goalkeeper. Yeah, sure. So we're doing well here. The team seems to be doing well. The team cohesion didn't really drop that much. Obviously, it dropped a little bit. But we seem to have decent team cohesion still. I haven't checked the green lines in a long time. The green lines, for some reason, I'm not sure why, they only appear if you're looking at in possession and out of possession. They don't show if you're looking at combined, and I tend to look at combined. So it's a little bit annoying. I do like this nice touch of having different backgrounds for the different competitions. That is quite good. I wish they had a slightly better generic one though when you're lower down in the leagues, because this is only just for this league. It's you got the green for the Carabao Cup, the red is for the league. I think it's largely based on the competition itself, like the colour scheme and so on. It's just a bit sad that you don't get that for the Enterprise leagues. Ooh, that would have been a good pass. So yeah, there are a few things that I do like, but vast overwhelming majority of the game I don't actually like this version of FM. Maybe next year it'll be better and this will have been worth it, but yeah, very disappointed with what's happened here with the game. Nice goal. Ooh, that was good. So if you've been watching, you'll know like the whole strategy is all about, really highly physical, gegenpress. We're not really focusing on technical skills or mental skills. I'm hoping that the players will already come with some innate abilities. But I'm more focused on getting the best physical players that I can into my squad for that specific position, with some training and development that I do, individual training and so on. And then also relying on having a young squad so that they sort of can remain for year on year. If you get a slightly more experienced squad overall, there's going to be more turning over. But yeah, it's better to have a younger squad when we're going for physical attributes like this, because they will still develop a little bit. At least some of the attributes will. Okay. It also means we can make some money off them when they move on to other clubs, like we did with O'Shea Ellis. 500,000 is pretty good for a club this size as a return, because obviously he was free, and this is another thing. Like I need barely spend any money if I'm getting young players like that. Obviously, as I go up the leagues, I think there'll be less and less the case. But Yeah, this is another reason why I'm trying to develop the youth facilities, to see if we can create some of that talent ourselves. It's hard, but I think we can do it. Okay, so that is the end of the game. And that's it for this episode. Thanks so much for watching until the end, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.